Reverend Rob Lee. Bold, smart, and straight to the point. This is Tarot with an Attitude.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Tarot with an Attitude. I am your host, the Reverend Rob Lee. Wow, bangarang. Okay, people coming in the door. Glad to see everybody here. While we're waiting on people to come in, find their seat, get comfy, get their coffee like I do, everything else, make sure you're situated, comfortable, things like that. We're going to have some messages tonight that are coming through, and I want to make sure people are ready to receive them. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start with my prayer. Our most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, the one, the all, the everything. We say thank you. We say thank you for all of the resources. We say thank you for what you have given us. Have your angels draw close, the spirit guides draw closer, and may all of the messages that I receive tonight be of you, only you, and let your messages come through, not that of me. So with all that being said, also open people's hearts for any messages they might receive and be with them as well. So mote it be. All right, folks, we're going to get started and we're going to see what's happening. And I know Cynthia's had a rough week, okay? And she's going to start early tonight. Rev Rob, we talked, and she and I did talk. And Cynthia, I want you to know, lots of love, healing, and everything going out to you. And if our readings match, don't know if they do, okay? Not going to tell you anything. Have I processed or blocked info I got yesterday? So let me ask this. I will start with the pendulum, and let's ask that last question. All right, pendulum spirit, will you work with me? Yes. Do you need to be cleansed or anything like that? No. Cynthia is asking the question, has she processed or blocked info that she got yesterday? So let's start with, has she processed all the information she got yesterday? I'm getting yes, you have. All right. Is there anything that was blocked that she's blocking from yesterday? No. You got the information and received it. Now, when you say block, Cynthia, what this means are you ready to accept it? So what was that information, things like that? You don't have to tell me here. We're going to get into that. So I'm going to do a quick reading for you. All right. And let's find out what's going on. And Spirit, I'm going to ask you to help. Cynthia is having a real hard time with some things that are going on, and she's got to process the information. So, Cynthia, I'm going to take your question down so we get the whole thing up here. And I'm using the Lost Tarot deck tonight, everybody. So, hope everybody's doing well, things like that. Let's find out what's going on. Okay? Let's see what's happening for Cynthia. Spirit, Cynthia needs a message. She needs to confirm some messages or whatnot. Please, let's just say, tell me what Cynthia needs to know, and let's go from there. So our first card out of the gate is the Fool. This is talking about possibly being on a new trip. All right. Something beginning, starting out, being pure, understanding, and not living in a state of fear. Let's talk about the Fool for a little bit. The Fool in tarot is the very beginning of the major arcana, and it's not even considered. He is like the protagonist of the story of the major arcana as the Fool takes his trip and he's zero. Now, in the mathematic world, zero is actually a non-number. Zero means nothing. It means there is nothing here, so you can't put a number to it. Zero is like a placeholder, okay, for us to understand nothing. But in math, nothing is there. So this is you looking at, there's possibly a journey, some things that are going to happen, and you can't carry around a lot of baggage on it. You're going to have to learn some new things that are happening, okay? And the crocodile here, or the alligator, no, this crocodile, pointed snout. Only a Florida boy knows the difference. Well, not only, but that's what you got. Okay. Is standing in his way, but he's looking beyond this to say, I'm going anyways. There are things we have to face that you can't just turn around from. And this is very important, Cynthia, for you to understand. There are only so many things that you have within your control in this situation that's coming up. We have the Four of Swords. Now, I'm giving this as a reading for you, okay? Not those around you. I'm going to stay pretty generic here, okay? But you can't worry about everything. You are going to best serve this situation by staying calm, putting your energy out there, building a good solid base. There are some battles that are going to have to be fought. Save your strength to fight the next battle. This is not one you can do anything about. Worry, things like this, a lot of this is up in your head, and you should be worried. There are things that you need to worry about. But what I'm really getting from your spirit guides are, remember, we are here. And there are some things, we pay, we play. And that's something from the Tarot with Natitude side that I want you to remember. There are times, there are things that happen in life that we have to pay that piper. And now we're paying that price when we didn't think we would have to. I want you to understand, keep fear at bay. I want you to not rest. It's time for you to focus on where you're going to go next, what's going to happen, and with this thing. I know that's hard. We have the Knight of Coins. In this real world, and where you're going right now, in this real world, in the tangible world, Cynthia, okay, you're going to be relying on people for help. But you've also got spirit. You've got messengers. You've got your angels. There are people here to support you. But as you ride out in this battle, it's going to be on you to face this. And this is a real world problem. So you have to take a look at it, and you have to be prepared mentally for everything that's coming. Make sure, okay, if you're going to take care of people or other people, you have to take care of yourself. All right. It is time for you to make sure that everything for you is in order. This way you can help other people. Notice we have the Knight of Coins. Next in line, we have the Queen of Coins. Now, again, we are talking about masculine energy. Some of this fight is for somebody else. Okay. And you're going to have to realize there are certain things going to have to be dealt with. The Queen is that feminine energy. It's time for you to care. Take care of yourself. Take care of that immediate thing. It's all about you, your husband, and what's going on in your life right now. That's very, very important. And it's okay to tell everybody else you're on hold. All right. You need to understand that. Take care of yourself. You might get a little snappy. Okay. You might get frustrated. You might be getting tired. Just a tough time. But this is the time you show people, you show your grandkids, you show your kids, you show all these people what you're really made of. Okay. I'm not going to give into this. I'm not going to give into everything. And I'm going to keep everything in check. It's fortitude. This is a battle that's meant to be fought, and it's a rough battle. Okay. I wish I could give you something other than just the platitudes of we all care, we all love you, but you're carrying this on your own. You are dealing with this. Okay. And part of you is going to want to be angry at some of this if you're not already angry. And you and I haven't talked in detail about this. Make sure you're keeping that anger in check right now, because it's not going to help anything. And it's going to make matters a little worse. So, you know what? Six of Coins. I'm being told to come out here a little bit further. The Six of Coins is to understand somebody's going to need your help. Okay. But you can only help so many people at a certain time. Okay. You can't help everybody right now. You need to focus on what you need to take care of, and you need to be reserved. Notice she's helping, but she's giving everything. And look at the coins. This is real world. Okay. You have to focus. Okay. On what you need to focus on. It's not a time to be helping everybody else. You're going to have some things you got to deal with. You know what? Things are changing in your life. There are going to be some, I'm seeing resources that are coming in, things that are going to help, but there are some big changes coming. So everybody outside of this thing that you're going through needs to understand it's not just your life that's changing, their life is changing. You are going to have some things to deal with. So other people are going to have to step up. Okay. It's just that simple. Everything is fixing to shift. Now, the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, is a good thing. Remember, we talk about fear. Problems come, problems go. This is something you're going to have to grind through, take care of. Notice in this Wheel of Fortune, we have emotion that's playing. That's our or your emotional, the waters are churning deep and you don't know where to go or what to feel. Okay. That's understandable. But you and I both know through other things in life, emotional things have happened when you thought things were coming and crashing. And here we go again. So, but that's life. That's what we have to do. Pull your people. If they don't understand where you're at right now, that's on them. It's okay. We're looking here, all right, at the 5 of Swords. Don't let other people, all right, and don't, you have to stay solid. This is conflict. This is, 5s are always conflict, and we're in the middle of this thing in a battle that's coming. You cannot, with this whole fortitude thing, you cannot lash out because you will win the battle and lose the war, because you're going to need other people to help, as we saw in that night. And it's going to be their turn to have to turn around and help you. So make sure you're not cutting your nose off to spite your face with somebody. And then finally, we have the Knight of Cups. All right. The Knight of Cups is walking into the water. If you notice, this cup, this knight doesn't have everybody swarming around him. Your emotions, how you deal with all of this, everything that's happening, this is on you. I also feel like there's a male presence that's going to come in, and I feel like riding in and letting you know everything's going to be okay. All right. That happiness and joy can be yours. You have to focus on that and make that happen. I hope that makes sense. Okay. That's the messages I've got. And let's see where we go. And if we need to talk, okay, tomorrow or something like that, please feel free. You know how to get a hold of me. Okay. It's very, very important. But I'd like to know, that's the reinforcing messages that I'm getting from your spirit guides, from spirit, that you, remember, this is power. This is an emotional time. And this is about happiness, joy, and love. And this is about the love of your life. And maybe the love of your life needs your help right now rather than you needing theirs. Okay. So keep everything I said. Let me know. Okay. You can, after the show's over, you can go back, play it again, watch it, make sure. And like I said, if you want to contact me tomorrow and let me know how this went, I would love to hear from you. All right. Everybody, what we're going to do right now, we are going to have a prayer. Cynthia needs our prayer. Cynthia's family needs our prayer. And it's not up to me to give a bunch of stuff. We do know her husband has had some heart issues, and it's not mine to share how much everything, what's going on and everything else. That's up to Cynthia. But let's do this. Everybody, gather your energy. Picture Cynthia. You've seen her here. And if you don't know what she looks like, it's one of those things where you can just say, Cynthia, call her name and send her your love, the light, the healing energy that will embrace her. our most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, that divine mother, I am calling on you. I am calling on Raphael to swarm Cynthia Carnegie's home, those people around her, everybody, and bring healing to this family. Set guards. Things are going to want to come in and try to make things worse. We are going to just blast this home, these people, with nothing but love, joy, energy, and light. I'm feeling the energy. Pull the energy from above, pull the energy from below, let it radiate. Cynthia, I'm sending you. I just want you to understand energy right now. Feel it wash over you. The angels, Raphael, go to this woman's side, go to her husband's side. Let everybody know, understand they are protected, and I'm demanding this in the name of the all. This is what I'm saying. I'm not asking for Cynthia to demand it. I am demanding it. This is good people. This is a good family. I want you to wash over them, make sure they are cared for and comforted. And everything we can ask, so mote it be. Wow. Okay. Cynthia, let me know what's going on. You better keep me posted. Okay. And let me know what's happening. All right. So let me get these cards. I pulled a lot of cards here. So let me get some cards separated out back in the deck. Oh, I see Yachty sitting down here waiting patiently for me. I love me some Yachty. Love me some Yachty. And Yachty, you, while I'm doing this, you had mentioned in the chat earlier about me doing a PayPal and a Venmo. I have it. I just haven't put it in there for the donations. But when you said it, my wife's like, we need to do that. So we will get it all set up the next time we come out on Monday. There will be a donation section in there for anybody that wants to. Is it a requirement to get a reading? No, not at all. Okay. Not at all. Nothing but love and everything else. But for those that want to, yes, we will make that available, and it is genuinely appreciated. So without further ado, let's bring the beautiful Miss Yachty on. What's happening?
So you and Becca were 100% correct. My initial screening interview went incredibly well. Just like you said, I grounded myself, spoke very clearly, that she pushed me to the next interview. I have this Monday with the regional president,
All
um,
right.
Judd of Humana, Centerwell. I have like this really incredible feeling, like it's just innate. Like I just feel like because this is something that I own because I love working for this population, So
Okay.
speak about it, Medicare, Medicaid, just primary care, geriatric population. I'm so passionate about because, I've always worked in dual diagnoses with a high focus on addiction and recovery. But I had the chance to transition to geriatric care, and it was like the most wonderful thing.
We need more people like you. That is a very tough
Yes.
population. Between geriatric mental health
Yes,
care, and I was involved in both. Let me tell you something.
I know.
That can be tough.
It
That
is.
that
But I'm supporting, all. It's not just the behavioral health. It's value based care, right? So
right.
everything you could think of, the primary doctor, cardio, I mean, everything, acupuncture, podiatry, everything you could think of, it's value-based care. So, and I've always been really, really passionate about it. Like children and adults, that population transition is not as easy for them. So they need
Right.
and people to advocate for them. And they're lonely. So someone like me, it just makes it easy because I'm naturally very bubbly. So they really are drawn to me. But I've always been in executive leadership, so I have to ensure that the team is doing what they have to do to provide that quality of care, not quantity, right? So I'm
You're
very
touching
excited.
something near and dear to my heart when we
Yeah.
talk about quality versus
Quality,
quantity.
always implementing best practices, and always give our patients better days. I always believe in that. I really, really hold true to that in terms of my day to day. So I'm excited about this interview. I actually got contacted today by another value-based program. And they're another competitor, and I was like, okay, what is going on? Like, it's like, I put it in, in the university.
Was it you that I did the reading for that talked about you're going to have choices? Don't rush into something.
Yeah, definitely. Because the last one, you were like, don't rush into it. And they did talk to the COO, and they actually pushed that position out to like 9 to 12 months, but it was like settling. Now we were talking about the
Right.
and I was like, okay, now the positions that I truly want and I deserve are finally coming to fruition. I don't have them yet, but I'm claiming them because I really do believe that's where I belong. So I have my interview on Monday with Mr. Nick Judd, and I sense his energy. Like, I think that he's going to be, I'm asking all the questions, but he also knows that I'm coming from the same background. So, the communication, we'll definitely be speaking the same language, which is
Okay. Well, good. And again, you could just feel the energy of how much you actually really want this or whatnot. So let's do on that. We're gonna send some energy out. We're gonna say, I'm gonna ask as we charge this, okay, that with Raphael and with other angels that come into play, Gabrielle, things like that, that they literally swarm you and give you the right words, give
right.
you everything you need. One of the things, while I was just sitting here shuffling, going, okay, what is the message about, this interview? And so what does spirit want you to know? Here we go. Wow, this is starting very interesting. We have the mage, okay, the magician,
Oh,
meaning what I really am picking up. See all these people in the background?
mm-hmm.
This is yours to give up or lose, okay? You have all the tools you need for this job, and they are realizing in that you are being discussed. And you know what's ironic? I've never talked about this picture behind this mage ever. Okay. But spirit showed me that. You need to understand that the mage, the magician in tarot is that number one, the new beginning, the
Yeah.
start, and you. Okay. That this is talking about you have the ability to take this on and do this.
Yes.
Remember, I told you before, don't oversell yourself.
Right.
Okay. Just sell yourself. Okay. But stand firm. I had this conversation with somebody else. I can't remember. Know your value. Okay.
And that was
Answer the question straight up. Don't explain your answers or anything unless they ask you to.
right.
Okay. Does that make sense?
No, definitely.
Okay. Emotionally, you've got everything. This card contains every element. Okay. And even everybody thinks of the four elements: fire, air, earth, and water. Okay. There's a fifth element: spirit. And you have that fire and that desire to build something and do something and make sure people are taken care of. And that's coming through, that it's not just a job for you. I really feel that's coming through. You're wanting to take care of people in the real world, not just yourself.
No.
Okay. Now, here we have the Queen of Coins again, but I got a completely different message for this. The Queen of Coins, a lot of times, does talk about make sure you take care of you
Right.
and yours. Okay. One of the things I would say is make sure you understand, stop worrying about it, manifest it, see it as happening, and these things are going to come in. This is where that really feminine, in today's world, I know a lot of women need to grab that masculine, like I said,
Yes.
know your authority, know this, be careful. They
Okay.
want to see a little feminine in you.
Yeah.
Okay. They want to see that caring spirit. And this is going to be very, very important. And, wow, I separated all these cards out in complete different sections. All right. Fortitude. What I'm really getting is there might be something that's said in this interview with Mr. Judd.
Mhm.
Okay. Or Mrs. Judd. I don't know what they are. Okay. That might be a test. Hold your tongue. Okay. Listen. Be, don't go on the attack. All right. But the 8 is always about learning something, seeing something, And if you're quiet, you will hear, they will give something away. Okay. You will be able to hear what's going on and know what's happening. We look here, 6 of Wands, claiming victory, claiming that spirit, breaking through and knowing that you were able to get through the barrier. Does that mean the battle's won? No. The first step is.
Yes.
Okay. That 6 is about victory, joy, claiming, breaking through, understanding. Look, this king is riding through, okay, and being celebrated for what he has accomplished. I see that coming for you. I see these different things that are happening. All right. But notice he's not in somebody's face. Okay. I almost feel like he's picked up that feminine portion of him of we conquered, we overcame, but I have to love these people.
Right.
You know, I appreciate what they're doing, things like that. You know, wow, look at the queens. So the whole feminine thing is going on here about caring and taking caring. All right. But our Queen of Swords here is about that mental communication. All right. Stop, think about what you're saying, see the lay of the ground. Is there something else you need to learn or research about this company before you meet them so you can make sure you're communicating what you need to communicate about yourself properly or whatever's going on so you have the answers? See how she's on horseback? You don't see in many tarot decks the queen being on horseback, but she's riding through her fields, checking everything and seeing how things are growing and sprouting. And this is in our head. This is in our communication. It's making sure that you're planting your crops and doing everything the right way mentally. You know, what I've got here is the Hierophant. Stick to the basics. All right. This is organization. I know you know step A, step B, step C, and you need to know that this is going to be very important in this conversation with Mr. Judd. He is going to be looking at you of, are you capable of playing in the rules? Do you know the rules? Are you already there? Are you able to lead and not just terminate? Wow, this hit me very hard. Listen very closely. He's going to be looking to see not that just that you can determine if somebody needs to be terminated, but is training involved and can you save that employee with proper training? Okay. Making sure. That was one of the things when I was in the call center business, I got every problem child there was that everybody else wanted to fire. Many of them got terminated. But one of the things I was able to do was I always went through first and made sure it was a knowledge or training issue. If it was training, I looked at it that was our fault. We didn't make sure it was clear. And this is what I'm getting, that Hierophant, sticking to, you know, the routines, the things, you know. So is that making sense? I'm seeing that.
No, definitely. I was actually my mentor, who was my regional vice president. She really has guided me, and she was like, you know, you're ready for this position. And we were just reviewing, you know, talking points in regards to what to focus on, what not to focus on. But really just, you know, really getting me going to make sure, like, you know, I'm sure about, you know, what I'm doing. She was like, you know, you do this. This is what you do. So why are you afraid? You know, don't
Exactly.
eloquently speak the way that you usually speak, you know. And she always tells me, nobody needs to know your numbers better than you. Okay. Always know your numbers. And I was like, okay.
Exactly. And you know, one of the best nurses I ever worked for, where she was trying to train people, okay, when I was just getting started and working the floor in a mental health unit, okay, would come in and say, I need a report, and make these young men who never did it gave a report. And I would step up. I've heard enough from you. You know everything you're doing. So I took that as a very huge compliment. Okay. But in that, making them give a report, a lot of them were getting pissed. And what I'm seeing here, what's funny, we're talking about that, is this Queen of Cups. She was actually trying to teach them something to move forward.
Yes.
And what we've got two very interesting cards here that came up while you were talking is the Queen of Cups, happiness, joy, love.
That's how
That this isn't just a job. Okay. You love your demographic. You love this type of work. Okay. And I want you to just remember, chill out. Things are yours. We have the star that came up with it. Okay. Which is hope. It's healing. It's direction. Remember, Spirit is telling me we are here.
Yes.
And when I say we, the Father, the Mother, the Son, all of the angels, everything, we are the all. Okay. And this is, don't think we're not here. We're here. Remember that, keeping your mouth shut. Think, pray, look a little bit, listen. Okay. And these things are going to unfold and you'll be able to find the direction you need. If you're careful, when you go into this meeting and you say your prayer and say, be with me. I ask for Michael for communication, come in, help me make sure that we are doing everything in this communication mental thing correctly. That would be, the Archangel Michael. Have him come in, all right, talk to him, send his own angels, whatever. And in those moments of keeping your cool, okay, give the message, but listen for the message if there's something you're needing. Take a moment. I'm really picking up. This guy doesn't want you firing right back. He wants you to think about some of the things he's saying and then give an answer. And people that haven't worked in the medical field, they don't understand how important that is. Okay. So, yes, what I'm seeing is it's your turn. Okay. And you're going to be helping people. It's going to be able to give back. You're going to be able to move forward. 6 of coins. There's another victory. So you're getting through this and some wealth and things are coming to you. It's going to be yours.
No,
That's
I
all.
feel it, and I speak to my angels and my guides, my ancestors all the time, and always have what we call our velas going, our candles, and but it feels so different because it's something I'm really really passionate about. And what my mentor was saying, that the positions that I'm always in, very few have the clinical, the behavior health side to it like I do. She goes, you have a skill set that most operators do not have. And she goes,
Right.
you coming in as a clinician, but she goes, but you're an operator. So you a lot of times you think you're just going to be a clinician. And she goes, because at my heart, in my hearts of hearts, I'm an operator before anything. But I'm also the product of 2 clinicians. Also, my mom.
There you go. And people don't understand. They need to see that person, that operator portion of you.
Right.
And what people don't understand, it was hard for me to try to explain to people, well, we need to do this.
Right.
These things cost money. Okay.
Right.
Every action we take has a monetary value to it. Yes, I will bend with you as much as I can. But this business, if we keep giving all of our stuff away, okay,
Yes.
or we go too far, I'm going to lose my job. You're going to lose your job. And guess what? Everything's going to fail. So that helping people find that balance, I think that's very important, that he sees that admin side in you.
Right.
Okay. I would love to give everybody the world. My wife, she's got the MBA from Stetson. I've got the MSW. Okay. Which you know very well. And I'm always trying to give everything away. And she's like going, stop it.
Well, you're a social worker. That's how social workers are.
Yeah. But we got to be reined in. We got to be checked because
because my mother's like that very much. Social workers and advocacy, and that's very much you guys deal with the external factors in terms of advocacy a lot of times in supporting people. My father is a doctor of neuropsych, so it was always very very different in terms of how he processed and how my mother. So I'm definitely a combination of both, because always been very very passionate about serving the most vulnerable. You to be able to serve people at a larger scale, but definitely I'm an operator, so it's a business at the end of the day, and I respect that. I don't make decisions based on how I feel, based on expectations. But if you ever ask anybody of my teammates, they will all tell you that they love me because I invest in them individually. And find things out about them to meet them, understand their baseline, meet them where they're at, because that's how I'm able to develop them. Everybody has different ways of learning. Everybody has different communication styles, and people receive things very differently.
Right.
So, and that would be the first thing I do, go in and be more of observing their environment, because that's going to allow me, in terms of my predecessor, because I do things very differently. You meet people where they're, I always believe that. And that's
I gotcha. I think you're going to be very good at it. I think this meeting is going to go very well. I want you to keep us posted. Okay.
I will.
Um,
You guys are getting me through this whole process.
okay. Good. That's what we need to do. That's why we're here. I just want people to fly,
No, I really appreciate it. Yes, Sarai. Okay. Thank you, Mama.
All right, sweetie. Love you very. Hi. How are you?
So she said, "Hi, Grandpa." Yes, I think you do look like Grandpa.
Okay. Well, there we go. I'm not officially one yet, but waiting. So, all right, sweetie, you take care. All right, and just know my heart and everything is with you. Okay.
Guys, thank you, family. Okay.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right. That was awesome. Okay. Awesome. 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 So we have Catherine McKenzie. Finally, I found you. What does Spirit want me to know? And that's exactly why we're here tonight. The title is this: What They Want to Tell You. So I'm really picking up, Catherine, that there is something with spirit guides or somebody that's trying to reach through to you. Let's see what we've got for a message. It's not just spirit, okay? But I'm feeling an old soul that's with you. They're there, or if not, you feel them from time to time. And this is what's happening, okay? All right, let's see what's going on for Miss Catherine McKenzie. All right, here we go. Everybody, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and at the end of the show, share. Just share everything you can. We need as many people as we can, and I appreciate everybody that's here. So let's see. Catherine McKenzie. All right, Spirit. I'm going to take a cup of coffee. I'm going to concentrate here right now, drink some coffee, and I'm concentrating on you, Catherine. Sometimes I got to take a minute and let things. I get so many things. I'm getting an older couple that are with you. I don't know if it's. Let me put it this way: I am clairsentient, so I don't actually see them. I sense everything that's going on, but this is almost like a grandmotherly, grandfatherly type of being, or beings that are there, spirits that are there. It could even be like great grandparents or something, but they love you and they're wanting you to know you're doing the right thing. Things are happening. You're moving forward. You worry too much. Let me know if that means anything to you. Okay. You worry too much. All right. Let's see what's happening. All right. Here we go. Catherine McKenzie. All right. Here we go. Where'd it go? Finally, I found you. What does Spirit want me to know? All right. Sorry, I just want to make sure all that flows. When I start getting downloads, I got to reconcentrate on the cards. So here we go. What does Spirit want Catherine to know? So the first thing right out of worry too much. What's this burden you're carrying around? Something's trying to come to an end, okay? And it's in your will and your spirit or whatnot. You're carrying around a lot of weight that you need to let go of, which goes with what I was saying before. And this is what's happening. Something's going to come to an end, or it's trying to come to an end, if you would just put something down and stop carrying it with you. Catherine, we have the Four of Wands. There are reasons. Notice we've got wands and wands. Four of Wands. You have reasons to celebrate. You have reasons to be happy. There are going to be people in your life, and you're building a good solid base on, and these are all spirit, that fire. What do you want to do? What do you want to build? Where do you want to go? Okay. So the 4 is here to say celebration is in order. So are we actually going through life a little heavy is what I'm picking up, worrying about way much more, carrying old crap around than living your life today and fully enjoying life. I think you enjoy it, but I don't think you're living it to its fullest extent. That's what I'm getting. And then we have here temperance. Yes, things have happened. Things have moved forward. Things that are going on. But there are things that you need to remember. You have to balance emotional. I always show people this, and a lot of people don't realize it. Temperance is not just about balance, but in these cards, it's about a balance between mental and emotional. She's got her foot on solid ground and one in the water. We are emotional beings. You can't just leave the emotion out of it. All right. But we're moving the water back and forth. Everything is balanced. You have to have balance in your life. They're needing you to have balance. And what I've got here is the Page of Swords. Now, look at what's going on, okay, around your life, but from an actual conscious mental standpoint. All right. Take a look, see what's happening, and see what you can fix and see what you can't. All right. But this is about studying, taking a look. Where do you want to go? What do you want to be when you grow up? Where's your heart taking you? But keeping your conscious mind about you. I'm really getting this. Stop worrying about anything and start living life to the fullest. You know, what I've got here is the Lovers. You know, this is commitment. All right. And again, it's another 6. The 6s are about victory, finding love. One of the things I would say, what I'm telling you is remember to love yourself. All right. You can never truly give somebody full love until you learn to love yourself. All right. And this is a commitment. So this might be a portion of a relationship that you're trying to deal with. And you have to look, is there true commitment here from either side of it? Spirit is saying, I'm committed to you. Are you committed to me? This is one of these things. And I do believe that what I'm picking up here is this commitment between spirit, but that there is some relationship and they need you to look at what's going on. Spirit is saying, look at this from a conscious level, not just from the heart. Okay. Look at this relationship, weigh things out, and find out where we're going. What are you doing? This commitment means y'all are on the same page. Different things are happening, and you have to confirm this. This is what's going on. Finally, we have the Sun. If you will drop this burden, stop looking at the past, and start moving on and understanding where you need to go and taking a new look at the way to live life and look at the joys you have, the Sun is coming out. 19, 1 and 9. There we have a 10 again, okay, which is a new beginning or an end, okay? So you need to understand that. Feel this joy. Let the Sun come down. Is there a child involved? Are there children involved? This is just it's all pouring into me right now. But you need to understand there is time for you to be happy and feel the sunlight on your face. Wow. Bang around. Okay. That's really cool. That is really cool. All right. Let's see what's happening here. Let me get these cards set up. I'm seeing seriously 822. Let's see what's going on. Am I making the right decision for my kids or am I a coward? All right. You know, this is a heavy question. I'm going to grab a pendulum. We're going to start there. Okay. We've already asked if pendulum and spirit will work with me through this pendulum, and they will. Seriously, 822. Spirit, you know who they are. You know what's going on in their life. Is she making the right decisions for her children? I'm getting a circle, which means to me there's more work that needs to be done. Okay. that something is being left undone. All right. So you're making the right decision, but you do have to take care of everything and step up. Let's find out what the cards have to say, what Spirit's going to tell me through the cards. The cards don't say crap. It is Spirit. Okay. So the first question is, and I would say this to anybody, okay? When people ask about a love life or something like that, why are you asking the question? Why are you doubting yourself? And why the term a coward? Think about this. If you're not getting good feelings about what you're doing for your children, chances are something's poking up and saying you might need to be doing more. Okay. What I'm really picking up right now is Spirit is saying there are things you're doing that you're trying to do the right thing, but I'm going to ask you a question that I just got hit. But is this all for the children or is some of this for you? Don't know. I'm just saying it's tarot and attitude. So you can get pissed. I don't, or whatnot. Hope you don't. Okay. Because I just try to give it the way I feel it and the way I see it and what's happening. So what does Seriously 822 need to know about this? And I would love to hear if anybody needs a more in-depth reading, you can get me below in the descriptions and set an appointment. Okay. Because I can go into a lot more detail, as many people here will tell you, if you're doing that. So here we go. Seriously 822. So what do you need to know? Balance. All right. And what you didn't see was the whole time I'm putting cards in different spots. And here we go. Isn't it funny that Spirit is very strong tonight on saying we got to have balance, temperance. All right. Are you taking one thing too far? Okay. Or is there a term, what I'm really picking up because the pendulum was spinning, is there something in this situation that you could do that meets in the middle where you feel good, the kids feel good, and again, don't know what's going on? But that's the question I would be asking. You need to be looking into the middle, okay, and seeing what's happening. We have the Knight of Coins, all right? What I'm really picking up is the Knight of Coins is about the real world, and it's about moving forward, okay? Normally, I never get this feeling, okay? But I almost got the feeling like the horse is trying to run forward and all the pages are trying to hold it back. It's not ready. Everything's not complete for this knight to charge into battle. There's something that is left undone. And I don't know anything about what's going on with you or with these kids or anything, but I want you to seriously take a look at what's happening. Write it down. And if you need to talk to somebody, a third party or whatnot, find them, whether it's a therapist or whatnot. Okay. Find them, but make sure that you're getting the information correct and not coming from a completely emotional standpoint, because the Knight of Coins, knights always come with a warning. Be careful. You can charge forward, but sometimes we charge off and we overrun our other emotions, other feelings, things like that, because we just want to get it over with and done. We have the Four of Coins. You need to make sure you are building, and again, real world, four, establishing a very solid foundation in the real world for these children and yourself. Okay. In this world, a lot of times it's like, oh, it's all about the kids. Well, I got news for you. No, it's not. Okay. We do need to keep them paramount. We do need to keep them but it's about you too. The kids wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So what I'm seeing is the need, and I'm being told you have to build a solid foundation. There are some questions that need to be answered. You have built something here. Make sure you're building something. And I'm really getting, don't be running from something. Okay. Do it right. Do it right. We have, Six of Swords. you know what? It is time to move on. It's time to let some things go or whatnot. But when you get to that other shore, are you going to be there knowing you did the right thing? Or are you going to be looking over your shoulder? And this is one of the things. Once you know you have done everything in your power, all right? Stepping into arguments, stepping into things, or being our strong self, especially for our kids, man, that can be tough because it does become easy to say, you know what, this is acceptable. It's better for everybody to move on. What I want you to see is always, if you know the story of the swords, okay, this fleeing to another site does not end well. She fled one thing that went wrong, okay, went to another thing, another dream. I'm running behind. I failed at this or whatnot. And I'm not saying you're a failure. I'm telling you to look at it this way. That's what the swords are showing, is that this is fleeing to another and moving on, okay? But be careful that you're not running into another problem or making a problem that's worse. These are your children. Is there something you need to be fighting for? You have created some beautiful, beautiful children. Things are happening, things are moving, or whatnot. You get to create a whole new life, all right? But no farmer, nobody ever got anything to be, it wasn't easy, okay? Growing, cultivating, creating something beautiful and creating your life in this manner, you got some work to do, is what I'm feeling. But you can create something absolutely wonderful for everybody involved. You know, there we go. We're right back with then. If you're going to do this, okay, and I'm not saying you're wrong for doing this, you can't drag this around with you for the rest of your life. All right. So if you think you're going to be dragging this around with you for the next 5 years or going, oh, I woulda, coulda, shoulda, put that shit down right now and take care of the problem so you can move forward without something going haywire in your head. All right. I don't know anything. That was what I got and what I'm getting from the cards. So I'd love to hear from you. Love to know what's happening and find out if this, let me know. Put it in the comments. My wife will pop it up if this validated anything for you or helped you. Okay. I would love to know how. Okay. Seriously, 822. Thank you. That was spot on. All right. I'm not looking for that. I just want to make sure I got the information that Spirit gave me for you. You're giving me courage. You know what? Seriously, I promise you. Let me tell you something. I've been in some fights in my life, fighting for my life, fighting for other people. And let me tell you something. Sometimes these fights can hurt. But when you in that fight and you know you did everything that you could do to make sure that the wrongs were righted, that you made sure everything was crossed, no matter what the outcome is from that fight, you will find peace. Okay? There may be some disappointment, but you'll be able to have peace within the disappointment because you're not living in woulda, coulda, shoulda. All right. That's very, very important for you right now. So rethink everything. Make sure you're doing, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. Welcome to the tribe. Love to see you back. Be back here on Monday. Okay. So everybody make sure. All right. Good deal. Patty Cook, tell me if the Jupiter into Cancer will affect my love life. Okay. That might actually be more of my wife question. All right. I don't do astrology a whole lot. I know just enough to get myself in trouble. But we're going to ask Spirit. Patty wants to know. I do know Spirit, and I talk to Spirit all the time. Okay. If whatever's happening with Jupiter into Cancer is going to affect her love life. So let's first off, that's a yes or no. I'm going to go right back here to this pendulum. All right. Spirit, we're back with the pendulum. Miss Patty Cook is here, and she wants to know if the Jupiter into Cancer is going to affect her love life. I got yes. It actually moves yes. Now, the thing is, it wasn't a huge yes. It was, yeah. You need to remember, energy is energy. Wherever you put your focus of that energy is what you're going to bring forward. If this is not happening the way you want it, where are you focusing? Does that make sense? You know, what does that mean? Okay, we can't just blame the positioning of the stars for everything because we were given free will. All right. Fighting against the energy sometimes to make things happen that we want. Okay. That's the part of manifesting, saying this is what I need. Now, I'm going to ask this. Is this going to affect her love life in a good way? And it went right into a yes. So, not knowing any more than that, Patty, that's exactly what I've got. Is it's going to affect it, but it's going to affect it in a positive. All right. So, and remember, a lot of that, what I'm saying is up to you of how you deal with it. All right. So, right here, we're going to do a quick 3 cards with that and find out what's going on. All right. What does Patty need to know? All right. What does Patty need to know? And I've got 3 of Swords. All right. Get this a lot with relationships. Okay. You cannot live in the past. Do not wallow. There's past trauma. There's things that have happened, and you have to let that go. These 3 of Swords, this heart, we're like, Rob, why is there, a lot of times this is 3 swords piercing through a heart because when we're in mental anguish, we're in emotional anguish. When we're emotional anguish, a lot of times we are in mental anguish. And you have to be careful not to build, not to build a wall and get hidden behind the wall. Because as you can see, if you look on the other side of the wall, there's something beautiful. Life happens. It's time. If we need to deal with this trauma, let's deal with it. I'd love to talk to you about it or whatnot. But this is what's happening. Don't get yourself blocked in. The Queen of Cups, Patty, think about this. All right. You are meant to live a life of love. You are meant to be happy. You are meant to have joy. You are meant to spring forward and know and bring this into your life. So this is what's going on. Get out of your head. All right. Deal with whatever happened. Get into your heart. All right. And remember, you are worthy. You're the queen. You have this feminine spirit that wants to have something, that wants to give, wants to nurture. And that can happen and be just completely awesome. Here, look at here. I haven't seen this card in a while. The Ace of Cups. Spirit is trying to pour emotions, happiness, and joy out on you. Okay. There are so many gifts from the water that Spirit is trying to give you. Make sure you're not blocking off something special. Wow. Bangarang. That's really cool. So yeah, man, that makes me feel really good. You're going to be the person to be around here in the next little bit. Okay. So be kind to yourself, be kind to other people and things that are happening, All right. Let's see what we've got here. Marwa, may I ask what's coming next to me in love? All right, here we go. First off, Marwa, and I don't know if you heard me say this before, but we were talking about relationships. How much do you love yourself? Okay. Because the way you feel about yourself is exactly what you're going to bring back in. If you can't manifest love for yourself to yourself, all right, you're going to have a hard time bringing it in. What's coming next for her in love? We'll do this right here and see what's going on. Okay. And find out what's happening. I've had fun tonight, everybody. Thank you very much. Make sure, okay, that everybody does hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share the video. It's very, very important. So we have the 6 of Wands. I see somebody writing in, okay? I see somebody actually that's going to be victorious. Maybe they'll conquer your heart, but somebody you look up to and respect that's been through a lot or whatnot. We have this king that is here, and I always see them as the king, okay, in the Six of Wands, that spirit, that fire, wherever you're going. This is going to be somebody that really catches your attention. You know what? You're going to need to be giving. They are not going to be drawn to somebody that's selfish, self-centered, or in. Make sure you are you and that you're remembering. They want to see the person that is you down deep inside. It's going to be giving back. So is it time to give back? Are you giving back? You know what? Then we've got here 4 cups. I call this my complacency card. Okay. So many things have gone right or whatnot. We sit complacent and we just go, oh, I'm going to wait for something to drop in my lap. All right. But what you see, there's a white horse back here. Okay. There's water down here, but he's sitting on dry land. Look at the lack of water in and around this actual water card. Put himself in a place where he can't be emotionally happy. Make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're aware, you're looking. And what this tells me is if you're not careful, you will miss the person that you're meant to meet. Okay? Be alert, be ready, be giving, live your life. All right? And look for things, because this is going to be somebody that's not going to hit you square in the face. You know what? Live your life, plan it. Know what's going on. Make plans. Continue on. Spirit is telling me right now, you have to live your life for you and moving forward and where you want to be. Notice we have the wands here a lot, okay? And what this is saying is if you're living your life, you will meet the person that likes doing the things you do, okay? So keep planning. Don't plan your life around meeting this person. Plan your life around living it, knowing what you want, knowing where you go, being the strong woman and making sure, because then Spirit can give you something. There's some stuff you need to clear out. Time to clear out the closet. If it doesn't serve your higher good anymore, let it go. Okay? You got to make room for happiness and joy. And folks, we do. We all have to make room for happiness, joy, because a lot of times Spirit wants to give us happiness and joy. Spirit wants us to have what the things we're asking for. But if we don't let go of some of the pain and stuff that we're carrying, I have no room for it. Okay? My wife and I play Pokemon Go. And we'll be playing. And then all of a sudden, my pack is full. And I just caught something and I can't put it in my pack. I either have to go through and clear out some things that no longer serve my good, okay? So I can put something new in it, or I'd spend money buying a whole new pack, okay? A bigger pack, all right? Clear out. Let some things go. These are going to be some things that are going to help you. And guess what? Whoa, what a card to end on, okay? This is going to be great. You have to be ready to receive it, okay? This is a commitment, a true relationship that will come up. Don't rush it. Do you, be you, move forward, love you, okay? And this person will fall in love with you too. Wow. Bangarang. Okay, everybody. Wow. What a night. What a night. Cynthia, make sure you call me tomorrow, okay? I need to hear from you. If you need to speak to me tonight, call me tonight. You know, my heart goes out, all right? But in everything that's being said, all right, I want everybody to understand you have messages, you have spirits. They are wanting to talk to you. Guides are here. These people are here to help you, okay? Spirit is never gone. We just forget to talk to them, okay? And I say them, mother, father, all of them. Like Hillis says, the all, okay? It's here. We have everything. And this is going to be something everybody needs to know and to understand. So, with all that being said, take what you want, leave what you don't, but leave having experienced some peace, love, and light. Bang.